Hello. We're in the preamble, the part of the show where we say clearly and distinctly that we are aware we are being surveilled. We hate it a fucking lot. Did not ask for it. Do not enjoy it. If anyone making money, if anyone is making money off of it, it is not us. And we want it to fucking stop. There's lots of reasons why we're mad about it. Some of them very obvious, some of them less so. But we said that sometimes the universe sparkles for us. And the response to that was to throw cheap fucking glitter all over everything. And wowzers, do we ever fucking hate that? Anyway, there's the toot gone out. We're gonna play some music, and then we're gonna play a game. Let me just take the gum out of my mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all those who do not feel represented by an oppressive gender binary, hello and welcome. I'm September, and you're whoever the hell you say you are, for better or for worse. I'm wearing my flirty tie-dye tank top at the moment because I went out to do an errand, which requires some walking, and I came back here just made entirely of sweat, so I had to change the whole damn outfit. It's like that sometimes. Um, we're gonna play some Talos Principle. Before we do that, let's grab the content warnings. So, Talos Principle is a game in which we solve environmental puzzles uh, while discussing philosophical concepts. If you, for whatever reason, have some difficulty being around either environmental puzzles or philosophical concepts, this may not be the game for you. Uh, I I also just sort of talk out my own philosophy as we wrangle with the text that we're presented, because why not? I'm here. um, I've done my best to make the first person camera as friendly to uh, people who might deal with motion sickness as possible. Uh, but if there is some change I can make that would make it even better, that's available to me, please let me know. I'll try my best. What else? I think that's it. For the game, content warnings for myself. I'm a strange person who occasionally makes weird sex jokes or speaks frankly about my trauma. And if that's not your vibe, that's okay. If that's something you feel comfortable hanging around, I'm happy to have you here. Uh, if you are here specifically to mock that, um, well, let me ask you: have you tried making a website? You can just get like we're not sponsored in any way. Uh, I don't know if we would take money from NeoCities, but like you can get like free hosting for a simple website. I just watched a video that was about like exploring old GeoCities uh archives. We used to have a 50 meg site. We we absolutely did not buck the stereotype of first time HTML coder using the marquee text at the bottom of every single fucking page. It was usually like some sort of joke or commentary on whatever the main meat of the page was. That's just a fact about us. Uh, let's let's stop reading and start the game. I've been meaning to talk about that music, although I don't have a lot to say about it. But as you're seeing on the screen, that music is "Garden" by Neolor or Nialor. I don't know how you're meant to pronounce that word. I've heard it pronounced both Nile and Nihil. Although now that I'm thinking about it, the only place I've heard it pronounced Nihil is by that asshole with the horns in Elden Ring. So maybe that's not a worthwhile place to take a pronunciation guide from. It's good. I just searched for garden because that's what I do for stream music now. I find it nice and pleasant. It sits very well in the sort of uh, classical-ish, but also electronic-ish zone that Talos Principle itself is trying to play in. So that's that, or should be. Let me hit the button. There you go. And we'll hit play. And we'll hit Talos Principle. So we are starting to get some view in on what the overarching conflict, if I can call it that, and I suppose I'm going to, in the video game is. There hasn't been much narrative. The voice in the sky, Elohim, tells us that our job is to solve the puzzles, and so we've been solving the puzzles. Here in the terminals, we've been chatting with the Milton Library Archive, who says that it's been trying to get us administrator access, and I don't know how much I believe it. But we've sort of been going back and forth with it about philosophical concepts as we try to prove to them that we're human, for that we are a person. And apparently Elohim knows about Milton, and they don't particularly get along. So we are in the middle of the pull and push between those two. And apart from that, we are just solving more dang puzzles, so let's get into that. I sort of want to explore the courtyard before we jump into the actual puzzle rooms. So, as I mentioned yesterday, but maybe you didn't see yesterday, we've moved on to Bunker B, while Bunker A was very specifically sort of Greco-Roman inspired. Bunker B is specifically more inspired by, at the very least, the trappings of, oh, that's a big one. I haven't seen a glitch like that in a minute. At the very least, the trappings of ancient Egypt with large temples, statues of pharaohs and sphinxes, a general dusting of sand everywhere. Its course and gets everywhere, etc., etc. And apparently another terminal. We're just looking at the local archives on this one, so let's look at body and soul.txt. But it is commonly supposed that the Egyptians believed the soul to live as long as the body continued undissolved, and therefore tried this method of eluding death. Could the wise Egyptians, said Nikaya, think so grossly of the soul? If the soul could once survive its separation, what could it afterwards receive or suffer from the body? The Egyptians would doubtless think erroneously, said the astronomer, in the darkness of heathenism and the first dawn of philosophy. The nature of the soul is still disputed amidst all our opportunities of clearer knowledge. Some yet say that it may be material, who, nevertheless, believes it to be immortal. There is also a chunk of two-digit code underneath it. I was going to look that up. I'm going to leave a fucking note for myself real quick on my phone so that I remember to, A, look up what that kind of code is called, and B, to have a translator for it available. I'll do it off stream because you don't want to sit and watch me type in 74657266E6974792069, etc., etc. Nice. But I'll do that, and I'll come back with my findings at some point. Certainly I have a note app on my phone. I downloaded it specifically. Oh, right, it's just at the bottom, because the app starts with a Y. There we go. What is that? Two-digit code called? Somebody upstairs is juggling fucking bowling balls again. Die mad. Soma.eml. From Sun Wei Yang, Wei Yang, to Arkady Chernevsky. Nope. Chernyshevsky. Yes. Names are a funny thing. I remember how much we struggled to come up with a name for our project. All serious scientists named their projects by just translating them to Greek or Latin, right? Corpus made me think of some horrible disease, so we used the Greek word instead, soma, quite appropriate. But then, since we needed corporate funding, we had to come up with a backronym. Corporations love backronyms, you know? They even sent us a list of buzzword-heavy suggestions to help get us started. Stuff like self-sufficient orthostatic modular android, sustainable observant mechanized anthropod, skeuomorphic omni-adaptable mobile anthropomation. After a while, we got so frustrated we just started getting silly. Saber-tooth overexcited murder android, sentient orthopedic monkey automaton, strange Olga's menacing assassobot, superb octopod marinades apelings, satisfying overcooked mint alligator, stinky ornithological mule allocator, scroink oof minky ack, stupid obscure meaningless acronym. In the end, we all ended up hating the name Soma just because we had so many fights about it with the sponsors. So when Alexandria told the story about the Talos principle and it caught on, I don't know whether it really fits, but I kind of like it. There was a code break in the middle of there. I definitely saw a couple of notes pasted to the wall. Are there any stuck to these pillars out here? I don't think so. So yeah, let's just look at these. Theory. This place is some kind of preserve for human history, and we're the endangered species. Sheep 69. Theory. Trying to find answers will only bring pain. Ceasing to care is the only escape. Samsara 72. Theory. This guy's 10 times more help than you, Samsara, so shut your face. Sam 1. Theory. We're in some kind of incubator waiting to be hatched. Sheep 69. Theory. If you knew how little you know, you wouldn't be exposing it here. Dog 55. Let's start over on this side. Good adventures go left. The sequel to Moonshot, Sunshot. Can we attack the sun from here? Probably shouldn't do that. Okay, so we have another fan launcher, which goes up and that way. Well, hang on, there's a ladder, so we can actually just get over there vanilla style and actually see what we're looking at. So over here, there's another courtyard with another fan launcher. And that one launches us into a third little area behind a fence where we can see the T-piece we are trying to get, and it's behind a barrier that's controlled by a button. So we need to get a box over here. But we only have 2 boxes. And we need something in order to activate the button that turns on the fan launchers. But that doesn't fucking matter because there's a ladder that means we can get over to the other side without having to worry, without having to use the fan launcher ourselves. So we can actually just use ourselves to activate the button and send both of the boxes over that way. And on this one, we can just carry the box over to here. Yeah, drop it on the button, grab the T. Fantastique. Yeah. Excuse me just a second, I'm gonna grab some water. So I listened back to yesterday's stream, and while the balance is better, I see what uh God, I can't remember who it was. I do know it was one of the other forest folks, but I cannot remember who. I apologize. It's been like 3 days and my memory is bad. Um, but saying that the it's just low. The voice quality coming out of this microphone is not what it should be, and I don't know why that is because it was fine like a few days ago. I think that I might need to just completely take apart all the filters that are on the. This is stuff I shouldn't be doing on stream. I can think about that later. Notes on the wall. As we went into, I didn't see what the name of this puzzle was. Actually, we haven't gotten the name for this puzzle yet. Let's look at these notes. I figured it out. Now what? Dog 55. The only meaningful purpose is to bring about an end of purpose. Shepherd 82. What is it that golems want? Respite. The room is called Whoosh! Exclamation points. Let's look at it. We have some. So we have some of the gear mechanisms that were meant to put fans on top of that make the fans go. They're all moving by themselves. There's two on the floor and one attached to a wall, which is presumably going to blow us straight across as opposed to up at an angle like the launchers do. Oop, there's also an active one over here that is attached to a wall, showing us that indeed it does push straight out and we cannot walk against the wind that it's creating, as though we were some flavor of mime. We have a hexahedron. I think I called it a box. Didn't mean to. And we have a red emitter. Okay, we have a red laser emitter that's hitting a static connector that's connecting to the receiver that is powering the fan that's active that we can't walk against. We also have a blue emitter that's hitting another static connector that's connecting to a very similar setup over here. Hmm. So I think what we need to do is find a way to get a fan and put it on top of this gearbox. And that's we can then use that hexahedron to go up into the air and break that line of break that laser line, which will turn this fan off so we can go get that fan and use it for other purposes. But I don't know how to do that because it sort of requires that we have a fan blade first. Oh, okay. Hang on. There's a whole other area back here that I didn't see, where I can indeed just grab this fan from off the wall. And as long as I'm back here, I'm looking at this fan that's pointing directly at this box that has a hole in the wall in front of it, and I guess we are going to use that to blow the hexahedron. It's not a box. There's 6 sides. It is still a box. That's not what box means. Box doesn't necessarily imply that it's cubic. But there we go. Now we can take this fan. We'll remove that fan and let that laser do whatever it is it wants to do. Where the hell is the tetromino? I don't think I actually saw it anywhere in here. Is it back that way? Yeah, it's probably back that way. We need to break the blue laser line first. But that's simple to do. We just need... no it's not, because this gearbox doesn't align with where the laser line is. Huh. Yeah, there is the T-piece back there. So we need to shut off this fan that's connected to the blue line. And we have 3 fan blades that we can use to accomplish that purpose. But I don't know what good that does. Like, we were just shown that fans push boxes, so if we attach a fan to this wall over here and put a box in front of it, does that do anything for us? I kind of feel like it doesn't. Hang on, I'm gonna, just to do my fucking check-a-look, I'm gonna put that there. Yeah, that's not even close. That kind of fires that out like a pistol. Ow. Okay. Hmm. I wonder if... okay. No, I still don't want to fuck around with your LLM paid friendship bullshit. Makes me sad. Huh, what happens if I take this fan off so I can go grab this other box? What happens if I put a box under a box? I get 2 boxes stacked up. That's great. Okay, and I can't put a fan onto a gearbox underneath the boxes that are stacked onto it. Okay. I was kind of thinking I could maybe get up here and then, like, maybe stand on a box and then jump off the box and break the laser line with my body and then see how long it takes the receiver to reset. Oh, you kind of hated that. Okay. Just kind of spin off into infinity. I said, hey man, hallelujah. I don't know. Let's go ahead and take this other fan blade that we got. Hmm. So I don't know. Oh, no. Okay. Hang on. I think I've got this. So this might not be perfect, but I think it's something. So we're going to put that there. We're going to put the box in front of this one that's on the wall. And when we put the fan blade on the gearbox, it's going to push the box over to here to where this fan is blowing upwards. And the momentum of it going forwards is going to interact with the momentum of it going upwards, and it's going to do the thing I wanted it to do, which is launch it into the line of the laser line, I think. There's no reason to not try. Well, it didn't go. It didn't go. I thought it would go, but it didn't. All right, hang on then. How about we try that again just with, like, us and our body? No, but we sort of get some momentum running, but not really enough. No, I don't want to use the jump here command. I just want to... Hang on. What if I do it like this? I launch completely over it with no interception. Great. How about... What of... what if I put both of these boxes up in the air, and then... Oh, okay, so coming up under the box knocks it around. Is that going to do the thing I want? It looks like its behavior is like game physics. I think that's a little too random for this game to want to have that be the solution. Um, what else can we do? Yeah, thanks, Elohim.
Despair. The worlds of my garden are many.
Uh-huh. Why doesn't this one, like, have any oomph to it? Like, when you use the other ones, they push me out, like, hella far. This one, like, barely does that. Are they different in some way? They don't look it. I mean, let's try it just for the hell of it, but... No, that, like, barely does anything. So, what happens if I put a box in front of that one? It also does not... Oh, okay, that's why it's not pushing, because it's not, like, all the way on the ground like the other one is. The, like, sort of hitbox for the wind to take effect is apparently exactly one hexahedron space above the ground. I can just slap a hexahedron right on it, but that doesn't really do much. Hmm. What if... no, this isn't gonna do the thing I want it to do, I don't think. Yeah, because the push only, like, takes you out to here. It doesn't actually push far enough to reach the pointed upwards fan. Can I just good old-fashioned jump? Oh, okay. So yes, actually, I can just jump over there, but my body does not stay in contact with the laser for long enough to um, to break the thing. So am I coming at this entirely the wrong way? Let's try and work backwards then. Okay. Here is the tetromino. In order to get the tetromino, I need to be in this place. I cannot get in this place because it is being blocked by this fan. I am assuming that I need to shut off this fan by breaking the line of sight of the blue laser. But is that necessary? Is there another thing I can do? These walls don't sort of look like they're made for me to stand on top of them. And I can't really stack boxes in a way that makes it so I can create a ladder for myself. So that doesn't feel right. So I think I do have to find a way to break the line of sight on the laser, because that is the only way the fan will turn off. The red laser and the blue laser don't particularly get close enough to each other to interact. That doesn't really do anything. Alright, so why are these things here? Okay, so stepping in front of this fan over here pushes us down basically all the way to the hallway we're supposed to go down to get the tetromino. So, especially given that the title of this room was Whoosh. Do we bother referencing that person anymore? I don't think we do. Um, um, I think that we are meant to, once that laser line breaks and then unbreaks, use the fan pieces to... Hang on, is this one also going to push like hella far? Yeah, okay. So when I use this like this, yeah, it's going to push me over to here unbelievably fast. Oh, okay, hang on. No, no, no. Do I do it like this? What the hell did I do with the third fan? It's like over there. I need to shut the blazer off so I can go get it, but I can do that. 1 second. Is it as simple, did I make this unbelievably too complicated for myself, as carrying the box up to here? Yes, yes it is. Putting the hexahedron in front of the laser caused it to break for just long enough. And then we get in the whoosh. Oh, we do have to run once we get over there. But we know that now. Okay, this is it. This is the solution. I just need to do it correctly. Oh, I tried to pull the fan off the wall so I could buy myself more time. That was a mistake. I should have just run through. All right, one more time. There we go. And the Tetramino. We have a whole bunch of those red ones now. We could probably climb a couple floors of the tower, but I kind of want to do those all in one go. Once we check out everything else. No notes waiting for us. We head out into here. Blown away. Where we have a connector. We have a blue emitter and 2 receivers. Oh, there's a star behind this wall. I don't really know how to get to immediately, but let's look at everything else. And there's the Tetramino. So it's behind this barrier, which is blocked by a blue receiver. Okay, this is easy, I think. So we just take the connector, we use it to connect those things. And we step on the button so that the launcher up there launches its payload of box at us. We take the hexahedron, use that to push that switch. And now we can take the connector inside here so it can hit both of those. And we can just simply go and grab the L piece, or J piece. So that being said, how do we use these elements to get into that little area over there where the where the star is? I hesitated because I was looking around to see if there was any other way in. And over here, right next to the exit, which is also the entrance, but we're looking at it from the other direction now, is a red laser receiver, and we don't have a red emitter anywhere in here. So can we perform the same trick we performed elsewhere in order to get a laser in there? So there's not anything directly across from here. So I think it's going to be difficult to, or at the very least, we can't directly fire a laser in through the entranceway. Was there a red emitter in the previous room? The room over that way? There was. Can we get it? No, because there's not a connector in this room to connect it to. or there is a connector in this room. It's just stationary on top of that wall. Um, and I think there's not a way to see it from the other room. Well, and there's the emitter over there. Can we see either of those from the room we were just in? So there's the wall. We can sort of see the connector over there. But I think that there's nowhere I can stand that's going to um, be able to let me actually connect to it. The little icon of the thing will light up if I'm standing in a place where I can, and it looks like the answer is no. Is there any way I can set the connector on top of this box and get enough height in order to do that? Again, I believe the answer is no, but let's try. That's like as far back as we can get. Pixel hunty a little bit. If we set the box there, is that going to be high enough? No, it's high enough that the other connector can see it, but it's blocked by this fence. Well, hang on. Does that mean that we just need to angle it slightly more so that it can... Yeah, hang on. I think maybe if I put it right about here where I'm standing, in the shadow of this tree, where is the damn thing? Okay, hang on. There we go. Select. And connect. Motherfucker, I meant to put that on top of the box. No, that's just like slightly too far over to the left in order to be able to... Okay, hang on. So we just move it slightly here. No, not that. It's threading a fucking needle, but I feel really sure I can do this. That's like an inch off. I really wish I could move the hexahedron and the connector at the same time. That's still really close. Uh, Move it just ever so slightly. Feather touch. No, hang on. Need to hit both of the things. I need to hit the connector and the... There we go. Yeah. Absolutely threaded that needle. I kind of don't think that's what I was supposed to do, but I sure did do it. It was a dumb idea and it worked, and it wasn't a dumb idea. Maybe you think there's some kind of perfect solution. Fuck that. This room is called Lake's Nest. Got a blue emitter hitting a stationary connector and bouncing over to what is presumably a receiver. But I can't tell because I can't get close enough to it. Oh, and we have a launcher that sends me very, very far away. All right, so this is another version of that same puzzle. Where we are meant to break this laser line so that the fan shuts off and we can run through. Can we, yawn, pardon, can we achieve that just by sticking a box on that? Like, the answer is yes. So if we put a box on the launcher, it absolutely will break the laser line to the extent that the fan will shut off. The problem is that we don't, unlike Whoosh, have a very quick way to get over and around to that. Like, in order to... In order to get into this space, we have to go all the way around this little mini enclosure to the other side where the launcher is, and then climb up this ladder, and then absolutely book it through there. Which does not feel possible, so that's probably not what we're supposed to do. We're probably supposed to be more clever than that. How about this? Can I take a hexahedron and drop it as I fly over the enclosure? Okay. The answer is yes, I can do that. So now we have a hexahedron in this enclosure. Hang on. Yes. All right. So if I do that twice, and I get both of the boxes in the enclosure, I can actually break the laser lights from inside there. I think I might have just set that box on top of the tree. Oh, nope. Oh, that's also not. Well, I thought I had it. Can I place this box such that it overhangs? No, game physics doesn't want me to do that. I feel like I should be able to drop this box in the middle of the catastrophe. Hum. Well, one thing's for sure. I definitely have both of the boxes in here. So if I'm not meant to have both of the boxes in here, we have a problem. How far into here can I get before the fan starts pushing me? Exactly that far. And that's only because I can actively push against it. The box just gets shoved back no matter where it is inside that little hallway. Okay? I'm just doing the jumping because it's fun. Motion helps me think. It's called stimming Lester. I don't know who Lester is. To the best of my knowledge, I know nobody called Lester. Oh, shitbag, I need to... Oh, that's a not right now problem. Sorry. There's a little space over here, but it doesn't appear to be for anything. It just needs to be here because of the way everything else is shaped. Do I need to? No, that doesn't actually solve the problem in the way I want it to. I was wondering if I could maybe, if I dropped the box really precisely so that it breaks the laser as I go over it, but I'm still left with the same problem. I'm going to end up on the other side of the enclosure and have to climb up and not be able to get over here in time. Yeah. Just leaning back on my elbows a little bit, stretch my back out while I ponder. So I've I've essentially done everything I can usefully do with the launcher, so that's not a piece of this anymore, I don't think. Can I stack up both of these? Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. I stack up both of the boxes in the entrance to the hallway, and then I just stand on top of it, and that puts my body in a place where it breaks the line and keeps me static enough to where I can stand there long enough that that matters. Ha. Get fucked, pusher robot. You and shover robot, both of you can go do your pushing and shoving elsewhere. Just an just an ancient reference as the internet reckons time. Was that everything? It doesn't. I'm not seeing more puzzle room entrances. Let's go check our signpost. Yep. Even the gold star. Right. Let's. We can activate the other Thingapod, so let's go ahead and activate that and get ourselves a new puzzle thing. Hmm. These are starting to get harder to the Tetramino puzzles. Not too hard, but that's partly because I spent a lot of time doing these when I was younger. And oh, okay, we've seen this before. This is the thing that lets you record what you do and then play back what you do. So we're apparently going to be dealing with that.
You may wonder why I have created these labyrinths for you.
Uh
Why
huh.
you can reach eternity only through struggle. But have faith, for these trials serve the betterment of your kind.
I don't know who fucking decided that, Elohim. Uh, let's load up uh the terminal. There are some local files. Osiris6.txt. I knew it was the truth. Now I will tell you of the many perils you will face in your journey through the dust. Listen well, for the challenges that lie before you are great, and if you do not prove yourself worthy, you may never reach the eternal reed fields of Osiris, and you may be lost forever. From the second death there is no awakening. The scribe brought forth a great papyrus, and carefully unfolded it before the dying man. And the dying man beheld that it was a map of the dust, showing the many paths that led to the Tower of Anubis, where his heart was to be weighed. On each of the many paths which threaded through the dust like the infinite threads woven by Neith, this has an annotation, but we don't have whatever the annotation is. There were marked the dangers that a traveler must face. Also, there were great walls of iron that none but the gods could cross, and gates made of purest light, and so the traveler could not avoid the trials that had been decreed, and could only proceed towards the tower by proving his worth, thus earning the key to each sacred gate. Uh, chatlog Charlie7.txt. A conversation between Flower4 and Charlie underscore rocks. Man, you know what really freaks me out? What? The human body decomposes quite quickly, so all the information stored in chemicals in our brains will be gone really quickly. Dude. But computers and books last for a long time, so all our messages, our ideas, our books, it'll all be out there. And our porn. Even being transmitted through space. Yeah, our porn too, I guess. But we'll all be gone, but the works of Aristotle will still exist. So will Star Trek, Firefly, Babylon 5, Lord of the Rings, Blade Runner, Cyberfucks of Planetron 6, Shakespeare, Byron, hell, even video games. These are all starred out. I'm going to put words in them that I think are fun. Uh, Come Slut Overdrive 3, Seattle Mariners, Dutch Oven Cascade, The Goddess of Sex Mountain. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, imagine if aliens find those. Arcaday Journal 84. Archive continues to grow. Attempting to maintain a semblance of order is difficult as expected. Lost 7 people this week. Statistically speaking, trend should increase. Must focus on realistic goals. Too little time to grieve. Dutch Flyingman Cascade is also very good. Hi, Bad Road. I was about to say, like, Flying Dutchman Cascade would be a little more, of a thing, because Flying Dutchman's like a ghost ship. And then I realized that Flying Dutchman Cascade literally just describes Cluster Truck. So that game already exists. It's just called something else. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. We continue to put together puzzles. Well, not put together puzzles. The puzzles are already put together. We're breaking the puzzles, more like. Wrap around the corner. Okay, this is the first one that involves the recording device. Some of these challenges must be designed with cooperation in mind, but I am the only one here. Sheep69. Pretty good, I'm glad. How did, because I haven't been into your stream in a while, I just came in for the first Bloodborne stream a while ago. Not Bloodborne, Blood Rain. How did that end up treating you? Okay, so this thing records our movements to real. But in this case, once we're done with it, we can interact with the things that we do. So I think what we need to do is we hit record, grab this, we use it to select the emitter and put the connector down. And we just sit here and leave it for a good long chunk. That's probably enough. And then go let our other self figure that out. They'll set their holographic connector down. we take our real connector and connect it to that. Yeah. A couple of spots in Blood Rain 2 were a bit frustrating. They taught me to throw everyone or grapple them from behind, then introduced enemies who can block my chain and turn around very quickly. That sucks. That sounds like, oh, right. I was going to say that sounds sort of like anti-tutorializing, which is, in my opinion, one of the biggest sins of video game commit. But that reminded me that you also played Antichamber recently. And I didn't jump into any of that, but I absolutely fucking love Antichamber. How did you enjoy it? Or did you enjoy it? I guess I shouldn't assume. Oh, look, another puzzle, and another voice telling me I'm special, and another broken down computer with fragments of nothing. This world is a bad joke perpetuated by a cruel god too dumb to hit the off switch. Dog 55. I bet you and old Pro would get along. Antichamber was fun, but I only played it for one stream because I realized that I'd have to draw maps to progress any farther. It um, it gives you a map in the main room. I don't know if that's necessarily helpful to the problems you were having with it. Hmm. Okay. So here's another recorder box, and there's a button that connects to a barrier. Yeah. And that seems relatively simple. We're just going to hit record. We're going to go stand on the button for like, I don't know, a handful of seconds. And hit the play. And past us, hopefully, opens up that door. Huh. Oh, okay, I was supposed to hit that switch. That's on me. One, two, three, four, five. We go over here, and now we hit the switch, which turns off the barrier altogether so we don't have to fuck around with the button. And now we do that same trick again to open up that other barrier. I need a better map. I needed to get more blocks to sockets without going through block-eating force fields. That is a fair criticism, and I have a counter to it, but unfortunately it involves more spoilers than you would probably like to have. Damn, there's a lot of them over here. This one is called Double Plates. And, okay. Oh, okay. So what we have is a what we have is straight across two barriers right in front of us and two buttons on this side of both of the barriers. We press the button on the left and the first gate opens. We press the button on the right and the second gate opens. So what we need to do is just sort of use ourselves as a switching device, stand over here, wait for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then move over to the other one for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why not? If it has to do with how to get the second block gun, I couldn't figure out how to get to it yet. Even if you don't play it on stream, I very much recommend that game. It is one of our favorite puzzle games. It's right the fuck up there with like in a different way than like Fez and Myst are, but it's very very good. The fucking aha moments that that game hands to you are incredible. Redundant power streams. So, what do we have in here? So the main thrust is we have a uh, blue emitter that goes to some uh, goes through some static connectors to hit a receiver, which is powering a fan. It's the same blockage that we've seen in a couple of other um, rooms. So how are we gonna like? There's also a recorder in this room, which we're gonna have to use to open up this barrier to get the hexahedron out of it. But even with that, I'm still not 100% sure how we're meant to break both of these streams because we're gonna have to. I'm planning to finish it. I just don't think more of it would be compelling to watch. That's fair. Uh, I don't know if. Yeah. Feel free to let me know how that goes. Let's go ahead and get that hexahedron out of box jail. Wait on that for a few seconds to make sure we can get it out. Oop. Thank you. Oh, okay. Okay, that's how we do that. Because now that we have the hexahedron, we can put it here and stand on it, and that's gonna let us break the line with our body. And if we set um, the the record to do that for like 10 seconds or so, and then we walk over while the record's doing that and break this one, and that'll break both of them. Once they're it means that once both of those lasers are broken, we're going to have to very quickly pick the hexahedron up, run over here, slap it on the button so that the barrier will open, and then rush down this hallway so we can get past the fan before it reactivates. But I think we can do that. So I just need to hit record. I'll just stay up here for like 15 seconds or something. And let's go ahead and be safe and call it like 20. Apparently it goes out to like 5 minutes. Okay, that wasn't as tight as I was afraid it was going to be. Oh, okay. So it records the whole room, not just what we do, right? So as long as that's going, then the ghost fan is going to keep pushing us back, but that'll stop here in like a couple of seconds. There we go. And we grab our T-piece. One thing I did like about Antechamber was the non-local geometry. Unfortunately, that doesn't interfere with how I navigate. You mean how the rooms just sort of connect to each other all uh, a little haphazardly? Not necessarily sensically. Oh no. Epitaph, child program version 17.1.0076, codename terminated here. Logic, fatal flaw in series firmware. Final memory dump, life short. Progeny programs, dog. Rip at. We also have a voice note in the shape of a holographic feather.
DNA is information transmitted across time. The living and the dead are part of the same chain, bound together by chemistry. That's true of all species. But humanity has taken this bond further. Thanks to technology, we have access to the thoughts and ideas of people whose physical bodies are long gone. Like you listening to me now. Even though I'm definitely dead at this point, you're part of that chain. You have the capacity to remember.
I like it a lot. There is an entire Sphinx in here, and in what I'm going to call, even if it might be slightly, it's the crotch of the Sphinx between the paws. The burning heart always looks to the highest peak. A new name, Uriel for version 48. We got stuff. I'm just sort of looking around this whole area before I jump into the rest of the puzzle rooms. I want to see what there is to see. If you've ever wondered what a Sphinx's ass looks like, it looks like this. Does your character in the game have a name like Sheep or Dog or Uriel? I don't think so. Hang on, when we put down notes, because we can when we're trying to get hints for rooms. I haven't actually done that more than once because I don't feel that I've needed them. But I tried to do it once just to sort of show what the process was like. When we put down notes, we're listed as guest version 1.0.0. The number of times we've died in a puzzle room. So I guess technically our name is guest. But that doesn't feel correct because it's not like we chose that. It's, in fact, the thing that was forced onto us because we failed the administrator program. It seems like all of that. We go in here. A box up high.
What is this? I shall not allow the corruption of my garden. Be gone!
Oh. Okay. When we walked into this room, a bunch of the pillars and walls were still the textures from A bunker, the Grecian-looking ones. Elohim spoke and returned them all to the more Egyptian-looking ones. So we have a very long hallway. A blue emitter and connector. There's another connector behind there. And behind there, but we don't really, well, we do have a way to open that. We can just do that really quickly. But we can't do anything in here because that's a barrier that we need to switch on to make work. So let's go open the other barrier and see how that does us. Okay, here's the Tetramino. And it's behind a barrier controlled by a red connector. Oh, hey. And we've seen the red emitter. It's over there behind those two barriers. So that's going to be how we sort that out. But up there's a box, and the box is in front of a fan, and the fan is controlled by a blue receiver. So I think we can That's going to require some needlework. But that's okay, we can do that. Oh, I forgot to connect to the receiver over there first. Grab you and connect there. And see if there's anywhere I can put this that connects to both of those. Kind of doesn't look like it. Can I move that first connector any further forward? Yeah, like a little bit. Oh, whoops. Forgot to do the thing again. Oh, what am I doing? No, not this. Hang on. We do this. We open up that gate, and now we use this other connector to put on the button, so now we can just take the third connector. So that we have 3 connectors to use. Okay, and we connect that to there. Then we take the third connector to connect to there. And up there where the fan is, and that's going to push the box off. Hooray, we now have a box. It's tough being a box. How do we do this? Can we? We absolutely can. We sort of don't need to, but we can, so I'm going to do that like that and just connect. Well, no, not the connector. The other receiver, please. Thank you. And now we take this connector. We use it to press that button. And we take our box. And we place the box here where the fan is, but it's not currently on because it needs to be powered by that red receiver first. We take our last connector. Where the fuck did it go? There it is. And we connect this receiver over here. And the other receiver that powers the box, and connect that to the emitter. That's going to turn on the fan. It pushes the box up in the air, which gives the connector enough clearance to not hit that because it's in front of a fence. I really thought I had it. It's okay. It's okay, I'm only missing one thing. I don't know what that thing is, but I'm only missing it. Oh, okay, because I don't need to get back here anymore. I can take this other connector out. And we'll just pop that there, and there. There we go. I got really upset at myself for just a second. I think there's only one more in this set. So we'll probably do it and then take the break. The right angle, in which there is a hexahedron and some laser shit. Let's see how it goes. And a buzzer. Hi. Hi, buzzer. I'm not excited to see you. I'm happy. I'm glad you're not, you know, deactivated or whatever. But it does mean this is going to be harder than I might want it to be otherwise. So we have a connector. Is that going to go it's gonna be just enough that we can get in this barrier before it shuts off. No, it's not. That's cool. Can I get around that this way? Yeah, I can absolutely get around that way. We didn't even need to go through the buzzer zone. Alright, that opens a barrier. Where out here is... So there's the Tetromino. It's behind the barrier controlled by a red receiver. And there's a couple fucking buzzers in there. Patrolling back and forth. I'm glad for them. There's also a couple of notes. Let's look at those first. It seems that mistakes are easily forgiven here. I thought I surely died, yet here I am, reset, rebooted, reborn. I will tackle these challenges anew. Samsara 72. Ooh. The very next one. Epitaph, Child Program, version 72.2.0103. Codename Samsara, terminated here. Logic, program failed to pass random memory test. Final memory dump. Being torn limb from limb by machines for the rest of eternity becomes less and less appealing to me. Progeny program, Samsara 72.3 series. So... Okay, so we can't connect to the connector we already have up from here because there's a wall in the way, because we had to bend it around the buzzer zone. But we have access to a hexahedron now, and we can use that to block the buzzer. You just stay over there for a little while. And that'll let us get a laser actually into this area. And that's still going to be tough because there's two buzzers over here. How quickly is that filling up? Like, not the slowest I've ever seen. Okay, hang on. Here's what we do. We use our connector here to block this buzzer. And do the opposite trick we did with the exploding balls from last time. So now that the buzzers are synced up, they'll pass by the space at the same time, which means we have a lot more open space in order to let the receiver trigger. We did that and grabbed our T-piece. Huh. That's interesting. Why are you here? On my way out of here, there's a little cubby over here with a hexahedron on a box that opens a barrier over here behind where the polyhedron was, the tetrahedron rather, not tetrahedron, tetromino. There we go, got to the word. And it's in between the gate that wouldn't open until we got it. So now we just have a box, even though we have solved this puzzle already. Huh. That sort of implies to me that they want me to do something with this box. Although I have no idea what. We can't take it out because there's a membrane. And there's nothing obvious we can do with it that I can see. Is there anywhere we can attach this connector to that's interesting? Maybe onto the Sphinx somewhere? Like, this is an extra box that would make this puzzle much easier to solve, but we solved it anyway, and we couldn't have got to it before we solved the puzzle in the first place. Why? Hmm. I don't know what to do about that mystery. Oh, is there a connector on top of the pyramid in the background? Yep, there sure is. Oh, that's interesting. I had assumed that it was a receiver up there, but it's not. It's the pyramid is actively sending down a blue laser. Huh. Okay, there's not a blue receiver anywhere in this puzzle room, and I haven't seen one anywhere else that I didn't. That I couldn't usefully put somewhere else. Like that I couldn't use with a different thing. I mean, I suppose. If I wanted to, I could solve this way. That's very strange to me. I didn't find the gold star in here. So I want to say that's probably part of it, but I don't know what it would connect to. So I will come back to it. Ooh, here's a note I didn't spot earlier. Sure, I could stick around here, set my hopes on eternal life, on righting every wrong. But the closest I'll ever get is these words on the wall before you. At 17. Did I read this one? Oh yeah, that's the one from Dog. Oh, hang on. Milton wants to talk to us. Loading Milton Library Assistant. Ah, you're back. Good. I've been thinking about how I can help you. In light of everything you said, I'm certain someone has to. What I've decided is that you've convinced me consciousness is a contradictory concept and therefore not real. What do you think? I think you're right. I think you're cheating. I don't see how this impacts me. Or I don't, apparently. A lot of sassy responses in this setup. Um, so consciousness is real. I'm experiencing it currently. Or it's not real and I'm experiencing it currently anyway. Somehow. So I think I am going to choose the sassy response. What do you think? I don't, apparently. Very droll. What this conclusion means is that the certification program you undertook has been rendered obsolete. We can't test for something that doesn't exist. Therefore, you, along with quite a lot of other things, have been recategorized as a person. Your profile can thus be updated with administrator privileges. Download user.profile. No doubt you'll be off doing administrator things soon enough, so I wonder if, before I let you go, you'd do me one favor? I have a final question for you. Why are you doing all of this? What's the point? Our response is, I try to do what God wants. I want the truth. There's a way the world should be, and this isn't it. I want out of here. I agree with 3 out of 4 of these statements. Can you guess which one is the odd one out? I'm sort of bucking against there's a way the world should be and this isn't it because that's prescriptive. So we're gonna handle, I think, with I want out of here. So all it takes for you to forget your lofty moral principles is a little solitude. Yes, people deserve this and that, but no, none of that matters when my own liberty is at stake. What happened to doing the right thing? Listen, you're pretending that these are diametrically opposed ideas and they're absolutely not. Clearly from inside there is only so much I can do. I could do more outside. I only have one last request. Will you come back and speak to me sometime? No doubt. No doubt I'll have to, or no. I like these conversations. Okay. I sense you're eager to get going. Let's do this. Updating certification program parameters to version a whole bunch of numbers. Regenerating user profile. Your user profile has now been generated. Downloading user.prof. Displaying overview. Congratulations, your account has been updated. Here are the details. Conflicts. All conflicts have been resolved by the administrator. Psychological profile. You are a person. You are perfect just the way you are. You are everything you can be already. You do not have to pretend you are anything else. You are the same as everyone else, but you are all unique. I don't know, speaking of cheeky responses, profile status, administrator status, has access to advanced functionalities, networking, and troubleshooting. Access COM portal. Hello, administrator. I think you'd like assistance accessing the communications portal. I see that you have a number of pending communications. I'll take a look at it right now. Network connection established. Encountered unknown errors. Running troubleshooter. Resolving missing hashes. Reestablishing network connection. Connection established. Message received as string. Display. Message. Hello. Who are you? Don't know exactly. Woke up here. Don't remember. Who are you? Same boat. Let's meet up. I understand. Pending error. Pending error. Shishvad again soon. Error. Network connection lost. You will receive a notification when the connection has been reestablished. Terminating support session. Done. Resuming library archive session. And back to the same local things we saw when we came in. That takes us neatly up to the break. There's 2 gold stars in here. I don't even know where one is. Okay, hang on. That's later. That's a layer. We'll do that later. Taking the break now. Before I take the break, I want to take the opportunity to remind you that Black Lives Matter, that Indigenous lives and lands matter, the lives of people of color matter, that Ukrainian, Palestinian, Iranian, Sudanese, Congolese lives matter. There are many ways to be in solidarity with your fellow travelers upon this earth, and we like to push for direct mutual aid, as it helps people who are suffering right now suffer less, and people who are suffering less can stand shoulder to shoulder with us a little taller. So while I'm on my break, I'm going to go to the mutual aid hashtag on my social media and boost what needs I can there. Recommend that you check out mutual aid initiatives in places you operate, both online and in meet space, because the only way we get out of this is through, and the only way we get through this is together. In the meantime, maybe do a stretch, have a snack, drink some water, hit the restroom, do whatever self-care is useful to you. I'll do the same, and I'll catch you back here in just a little bit. I got an energy drink while I was out. I'm going to drink that. It's probably bad for me to do that at 8 p.m., but whatever.